Hey, before this animation starts here, I just wanted to give a quick content warning. This animation will have some pretty serious subject matter in it, such as depression and suicide. And if you're not comfortable with that, I hope to see you whatever I make next. Thank you. Happy birthday, Amanda. I made this as a tribute to you, and I hope wherever you are, you're doing well. This was easily one of the worst years of my life, and it all started with a house and a year that kept continuously beating me the fuck up that I wanted to die. In early January, I caught the thing. Well, I had trouble hearing, my head felt like it was going to explode. I couldn't smell, but I never could. So yeah. Before the end times, I was at a birthday party for a friend, and on my way home, I felt this weird sense of loss, this grief that just came out of nowhere. I had no idea what it was until a bit later. I started my day like I usually do at a shit job for a shitty museum, but I got cut early and I could do some errands while I was out. I went to Target, got some soap. It was a great time. Then I headed home for what I usually do in the evenings, which was play World of Warcraft with my friends. I got a call from my mom suddenly, and that's really weird. She asked me, "Are you sitting down?" And I'm glad I was, because I wasn't prepared what I was gonna hear next. My mom said, "Your sister is dead." My sister was found dead in her apartment because of a drug overdose. The last thing I ever said to her was bye. I just couldn't believe it. This is my sister, but I hated her, but I loved her, but I hated her. She did so many good things, but she did so many bad things. Isn't it good that she's gone? I was giving Ambien to help me sleep better at night, but all it did was make things fuzzy. Like I couldn't tell what was going on. I couldn't feel. It just made me feel fuzzy and dizzy all the time. I strongly advise anyone to not take it if you can. I was sitting in my car after work when my mom called to tell me that I got rejected from grad school. I just needed a win. At this time, the virus was being taken very seriously, and eventually, my work finally sent us home. My crush at the time told me they didn't feel a romantic connection between us and still wanted to be friends, but wanted us to take a break from hanging out. They were in several group chats I was in and kept showing up to my house during lockdown to hang with my roomie. It felt like I couldn't talk in those chats, and whenever they showed up at my house, I just didn't know how to respond, so I didn't. Let's introduce the roommates. We have Microwave. Holier than thou attitude, microwaves everything, including eggs, can do no wrong. Uwu voice, but it's probably fake. This is Gil. They cannot take any accountability and twist narratives around so they can be the victim. They also hate Gils, and I purposely made them Gil because I know they hate it. Then there's G, just a really cool roommate who I feel no negativity towards. I just wanted the drama to stop. During lockdown, Microwave and G got on my case about walking outside because I could bring the virus home, but they had no problem leaving and going elsewhere. But I got grilled. Yeah, okay. Before we got into heavy lockdown, my parents visited and showed me something I didn't think I would ever see. My sister left a note, her last words, and this entire time I thought it was an accident and not a suicide. I'm not gonna read what's in that note just because, yeah. This is what broke me. My sense of time became none. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and I couldn't even keep track of what day it was anymore. Every day it felt as if it could be my last day and I wouldn't mind. I thought it was my fault. I thought it would go away if I did. I thought I was hated. I thought I drove my sister to suicide. I just wish I could have been there and been a brother somehow. I just found it kind of ironic how I was suffering through all this but clung to life to not upset my relationships with my friends and family. Gaming was the only thing that could distract me from, I played so much of New Horizons when it came out. I stayed up to 5 a.m. almost every day playing it. I also played League of Legends a lot. That's how you know I'm mentally ill. And I played a lot of World of Warcraft because that was my comfort game. Where I had a lot of comfort friends that were only online. And me and my best friend, we kept playing the same games together so we could just be there for one another. Even if we couldn't be there physically, it felt like we were. And I thought things were going the way I wanted to go, but then my job fired me. And that was one of the last things I was hoping I could get. Even if it's a shitty job, it still was a some sense of normal. My crush at the time started dating my roomie, and they were almost over every day, and seeing them together was mental torture because it just felt bad. I cut myself making broccoli, and my roommates took it the completely wrong way. I cut my hand, and they literally thought, oh, this is him showing signs he wants to off himself. Our lease was up soon, and we already planned on moving to a new place. I was shown a new place, but they didn't want me to come because they didn't want to be responsible for anything that happened. They called a suicide hotline that gave them the worst advice, which was to kick me out and call my mom. If I still had those same feelings I did like months ago, I probably wouldn't have made it that night. I just think this is one of the worst things you could tell someone if they're experiencing these emotions. Not only that, Microwave and Gil went behind my back and told the entire friend group what was going on in case I tried to say something to them. I don't know. But I wasn't going to say anything until we moved on and moved away. I thought everything was chill after that, but apparently Gil and Microwave were massively shit talking me to the same people in the friend group, and I didn't say anything about them until I found out about this stuff. So that was my 2020. I really wanted to finish this before 2022, but 2021 still had some things that wanted to rustle things up a little bit. I don't know why I felt the need to make this. I just felt compelled to just gather everything up that happened to me in a year and just release it so I can stop ruminating on the same feelings. It also might sound kind of lame, but one of the biggest reasons why I didn't want to give up was because I wanted to see One Piece through the end. I've watched so many One Piece clips that just made me feel happy for like 2 seconds, and it just carried on. I just want to thank everyone and anyone who chose to watch this video, whether you know me or you're just curious. I kind of wanted to make something to be like, hey, this is why in 2020 I was really fucking depressed and almost dropped off the face of the earth. Kind of like an explanation of just what was going on at the time. And I'm really thankful people are still my friends. I've said this like 4 or 5 times. I'm very thankful for the people in my life. Listen, I know the world is pretty shitty right now, but what kept me going were people who reached out or just things I liked a lot. Just random things. I did that. If you think one of your friends, family members, or just acquaintances is dealing with these thoughts, do not call a suicide hotline. I don't care. That's still really shitty advice. Reach out to them and try to give them support. Don't try to use an anonymous source to make them feel better. Again, thank you so much for watching this. I want to do more things like this, so I'll see you in whatever I make next. Thank you so much for watching.